Hi, I'm Marco.
I'm Potato.
I'm Timmy.
And I'm Alvin.
And this is the SSSC Show. Yeah, we filmed in front of a live studio audience. Okay. Today we have, obviously, as was discussed, we have Marco with us. Marco is representing the Swin-babes Aikido Club. And we have Alvin, who's representing the Swin-babes Taekwondo Club. Okay. So to kick off this session, we will start with an introduction. I'm Potato. I am in my final year of international business. And I like potatoes. Timmy?
Alright, I'm Timmy and I'm in my first year in Bachelor of Computer Science and this is my second semester.
Hi, I'm Alvin. I'm in my second year of computer science, second semester, and I'm the current president of the Taekwondo Club.
So my name is Marco and I'm the current president of the Swin-babes Aikido Club. I recently finished my studies here in Swin-babes, so I'm having my semester break now.
You graduated?
Technically not officially, but I finished my studies. I don't have anything else to do.
I see. So you just never left?
Yeah, I never left. Well, my student ID can still use until the end of the year. I should enjoy my facilities.
Got it. Okay, well it's a pleasure to have you guys on board. For the introduction, we were thinking of talking about what your clubs actually do because not many people know that there are these clubs. Yes, and you have a situation that needs to be handled as well.
Right.
So why don't we start with Alvin though, the Swin-babes Taekwondo Club?
Yeah, so Swin-babes Taekwondo Club, I think it's quite self-explanatory. It's a club for Taekwondo. So if you don't know what's Taekwondo, Taekwondo is a Korean martial art that is that's been here for quite a long time already. I think since 1940s and stuff. So we basically host training sessions for Taekwondo for those people who are interested in Taekwondo. And so like we have stuff like sparring sessions, just working out or like learning Taekwondo as a martial art itself. Yeah, and I myself I've been learning Taekwondo for I think 13 years already. Wow. Since I was 7. Yeah.
Dang, son. And what about you?
Alright, so Swin-babes Aikido Club, well, technically from the name as well, it's about Aikido. So if you do not know what Aikido is, it's a Japanese traditional martial art, which is relatively new when compared to Taekwondo or Karate or anything else. But the key difference of this martial art is more about self-defense, where you don't actually punch or kick people. What you do is neutralize the opponent. By how we neutralize it is just to make them fall down or lock them in place. You can hurt them if you want, as long as you keep your safe distance and then just throw them off balance. So the basic principle is to make them off balance because whenever an opponent is off balance, they cannot hit you hard. They'll just try to get back up. During that time, you have time to
Run away.
run away. Yes, correct. That's the part of self-defense. Run away, or if you want to punch him in the face, you can do that. So that's the wonderfulness of Aikido. So I've been in this club for 5 years. I started Aikido as my first martial art. It's a bit tricky if I don't have a martial art background, so it took me quite some time to learn. So since foundation I joined this club and I learned for 5 years. So yeah, that's how it came to be.
Have you guys ever applied these in real life
Well, my brother likes to fight with me a lot, so I know how to defend from him.
not to run from him?
Yeah, just run away from
Is
him.
he a younger brother?
Yeah, my younger brother.
So you trip him and then you run?
Well, the first thing, whenever someone wants to taunt you or anything, right, the first thing is just to slap him in the face. The first step is to distract him that
Are you
way.
serious?
Yeah, it's serious. Like, and distracted, right? Then what you do? You run away, you throw him, you pass him, then do the techniques on him.
So you have a lot of fun with this at home?
Yeah, actually I do. I felt more better now because he used to bully me a lot.
Wow.
So I feel great. I don't have to worry about being backstabbed or anything.
What about you?
Using self-defense. I mean, I don't have this scenario like Marco, like hitting my brother because my brother actually is also a black belt in it, so we can't. So we are on the same level, so we can't do that to ourselves. But like using in real life, I haven't gone through any experience of like someone coming up to me and trying to pick a fight with me yet. But I've been in the classes, the instructor does teach us a few like techniques of self-defense. But to say if I've applied it yet, no, not necessarily because I haven't gone through the experience yet. But maybe when I do, then I'll share again.
Oh, cool. Does Taekwondo also involve tripping people
Tripping,
and running away?
Tripping and running away, and not necessarily like tripping and running away, but like there are some moves that like trick the opponent, and after that you can like after you trick the opponent, you just punch them in the face like that, and then yeah, that's it. But
Okay, got
but
it.
we don't run away after that. I mean, we should, but we don't actually run away from that. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't teach that in class. And I've never seen anyone spar and then just run away.
They don't teach that.
Is it more to like actually fighting back instead of like defending yourself?
Fighting, but it's more of like, yeah, actually it's more about defending yourself. But like we have like, because Taekwondo is more focused on the sports part of the world. So like we have those sparring competitions and stuff. So most of the time during those classes, we will just learn to spar with each other, trying to learn to like we learn to do different types of kicks and here and there. So then we have to like apply it when we are put against one-on-one like that. So you have to like fight each other, and try to kick like your stomach, your head, and like yeah, but not too hard of course. Or else like you get people who like faint after that, which actually ever happened before. Yeah, like I've ever been to a competition whereby this guy actually like he did a backswing like you turn around and you kick the person's head and the guy actually passed out.
Did he die?
No, he didn't die. He just passed out for like 2 minutes and then he woke up like unconscious and stuff. Very messy. Yeah, that one, yeah, that was a bit tragic, but that's just how the competition is.
And you still join after seeing somebody pass out?
Joined by pressure by my instructor, like he peer pressured me, like say like he'll just say, oh, you're like the black belt guy in the class, you should show some. Be a role model to the other like students, join so they'll join too. But yeah, but I mean we won't force people to join of course. But I joined because there is a bit of I have a bit of an interest in it, although it's a bit dangerous. But yeah, I like the show a bit anyway.
Okay, and you joined Aikido because of interest as well?
Well, yeah, because I do not know any self-defense. Or what if I have a girlfriend in the future and yeah, I can protect them?
What
Yeah.
about yourself though?
right. So the way we work is actually different from Taekwondo because we are known as the art of harmony. That's why we don't actually punch or kick them. As long as we neutralize them, we can choose not to hurt them. Yeah, so
That's why you run away.
yeah, that's why we run away. If people rob you, just
Run away.
yeah, you try to run away. Don't fight back. They are holding a knife. You might endanger yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you know some tricks to protect yourself from them, just give them your money or whatever thing. Just don't let yourself hurt your life, right? Like, but what if that person really wants to hurt you or some other place? You cannot get rid of them. So that's where this self-defense works. You throw them off guard, run away, or maybe you want to make sure you can run away, punch them until they're knocked out, then run away. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how the principle works. But when our usual training, we don't actually kick people's ass. We just neutralize them.
So you prioritize on saving yourselves.
Yeah, saving ourselves at the same time because we can choose not to harm them, right? So that's why when we practice, we don't actually hurt them. And during practice, we don't intend to hurt each other. As long as we get hurt, like because sometimes I can twist my own arm. Yeah, that's how we can knock ourselves.
Okay, calm down.
But whenever we do that, when it hurts, right, we just tap out and then okay, stop. It works. Don't continue to break my arm. So we just stop. And then we don't have competitions. We do have seminars where we practice from some other people, like from New Zealand, instructors from New Zealand. They come over here and teach us the more basics or some advanced moves or techniques that. Because this art requires a lot of practice. It's not like if you know how to punch or kick, you can take down opponent. Because each and every one of us have different body structures and different reaction. So we have to practice with a lot of people to understand how they move and then how they react. So that's why I had a hard time practicing for 5 years. Yeah, it's a tricky martial art, but I think it's very relatively effective because the more experienced you are, the more safe you can be. the more that you don't endanger your opponent. What if you accidentally kill the person that intends to hurt you, and you face by the justice, something
Justice
like that.
system. But yeah, speaking of killing people, when do you know how to strike to kill though? Like, because usually like the justice system, it protects people who were, they killed, but they were trying to protect themselves, right? Out of self-defense.
I guess you just don't throw the first punch. It's you just like come if someone's like trying to attack, trying to like provoke you, just tell them, oh, back off, I don't want to like cause any harm. But if they try to attack you, I think from then, if you end up killing the person because you tried to defend yourself, then you won't get penalized.
Yeah, not as bad,
Yeah, not as bad. Yeah, so basically the idea is just don't throw the first punch. Yeah, just try to back off if possible.
Yeah, don't pick a fight first.
No big fight.
Don't trip someone first,
Don't.
and then run away.
Yeah, don't do that. Actually, for Aikido, that doesn't work because we don't have any techniques or moves that will hit someone first. It's always when somebody hits us,
So it
then we are
literally
able
is
to
defending
defend.
yourself.
Yes, it's more to self-defense. So if we were to pick up on a street fight, right, we definitely lose because we can't throw the first punch. So yeah, so
I don't want to see you guys in a fight.
Well,
Right, so we've seen in movies like they always do like this Haiya sounds right, and then those karate moves like what are those? What are that? Like do you guys actually apply them in real life?
yeah, in Taekwondo classes we do shout a lot. Yeah, so every time we just like kick or punch, we'll shout like ha, just
But
to, like.
it's not like Bruce Lee. Yeah, it's not
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no.
Yeah.
I think that just became like Hollywood the term.
So you guys don't really use these
Propaganda.
terms.
We don't really actually say Haiya. Maybe I don't know about the Chinese martial arts, but like because we're the Korean ones, we don't do that. We just say like just ha like that. Haiya is more of like a Hollywood movie kind of feel. Yeah.
Should we put in Aikido?
the shouting part, this is an interesting thing that I learned in a seminar where the instructor is from New Zealand. He also demonstrates why people will shout. Actually, to protect ourselves, we want to keep our distance. So probably when we shout, you all will back off, right? Yeah, so that's how we keep our distance. So for example, if somebody is running to you, you just shout back and then they'll probably freeze there. And that's where you run away.
Yeah, I'll fall down. Now you can run away. Okay?
Yeah, that's one of our self-defense techniques.
Oh, God.
So maybe if you want to see how movies demonstrate these moves, have you watched John Wick?
Yes.
John Wick, right? He uses a lot of judo moves. So Aikido is a little bit similar to that, where we have arm twisting. You can see how he flips people, right? That's most of our moves, our flipping part and throwing people off balance.
Right.
But in John Wick, he flips them and kills them, right? So yeah, you neutralize, but don't kill them. You just run away.
Okay, can we take a break? I need to calm down.
All right. Sorry.
Can we
All right.
take a quick break? Okay, thank you.
So Potato, we don't know where she went to. So after what Bako did, I hope she's fine. So alright, let's come back here and the next thing I'm gonna ask is martial arts. Is it still relevant? What do you think?
Well, we don't actually, even if I learned that long, right, I haven't actually applied on the streets because, I mean, we are quite safe right now. We don't get attacked recently and stuff.
So for me, relevance, I think however long it has been martial arts have been like practice, I think it's still very relevant to these days. I still see like parents sending their kids to martial arts for like since they were like 5 years old, that young actually, because the idea is that like, oh, if you learn martial arts now, then at least you can like defend yourself a bit on like it serves a purpose for like exercising as well, because like martial arts practice is rather intensive at times for Taekwondo side. Yeah. But also actually like I think martial arts these days have gotten quite popular in like pop culture and stuff. Like I think I don't know if anyone have heard of this like group Taekwondo like performers called K-Tigers. Yeah, K-Tigers. It's like you've heard of it? Yeah, K-Tigers.
Where they dance through
So
kicking.
they do Taekwondo performances, but they add like K-pop music inside, so it kind of like keeps up with the time and stuff. So it's like very flashy, and then like they just overlay the K-pop music over it, so it just looks nice and stuff. So that's how it's. I think in some ways people have tried to make it relevant in terms of like the performance side of things. Yeah.
So where someone like did a triple flip once. Kick
So
up high.
yeah, so like for those performers, they're like a different level actually. So like those normal classes, we don't really like.
You guys like don't do these
that's,
during
that's the
practices?
extreme. That's the extreme level. That's like if you really dare to commit everything. But you know, some people are just there to like learn. But for those that are really interested, they're like they want to go for the extremes one day. That K-Tiger group represents that kind of performance. They like do all those like back flips here and there, triple kicks, you know, just like start flying over, like maybe even like they're walking as if like the air has stairs or something like that. Yeah.
Those are still considered as actual Taekwondo moves lah.
Yeah,
It's not random made up
No,
moves.
it's actually Taekwondo moves. They just like try to make it into a great performance or something. It's a nice thing to watch. Yeah.
Actually, for me, honestly, it's still going to be relevant in our current world, even though it will feel safe. Just like how we learn swimming, right? It's not like we're gonna get drowned anytime. But what if there's one day where we meet the situation where we get involved with water, we prevent ourselves from drowning, we need to learn how to swim. So same thing where if we learn martial art, we can treat it as a sport, treat it to make ourselves healthy, and also a note where we can actually protect ourselves when some certain bad things.
Because we'll never know when bad things will happen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Prevention is definitely better than cure in this case.
Of course, yeah.
Actually, there's an interesting part where do you guys believe in chakras or anything, spiritual energy?
I've only seen it in like just movies and stuff.
Anime.
Anyway, right. But actually, I find it's actually the chakras are quite a true thing where maybe people who learn yoga they have ventured these kind of things.
Yeah.
For me, when I practice Aikido, right, although we are physically doing stuff, sometimes my sensei do try to talk about this kind of spiritual stuff about arts actually. Why Aikido has this kind of grounding movements and why we have an energy area within our surface and why we have to protect it. Theoretically, we protect it to prevent ourselves from harming, but at the same time, yeah, it gives us a certain advantage in our power, and we can throw people more easily when we manage to do that. Maybe we can do some. There's a practice where I don't believe it at first, but I don't know how it happened to me. Where if I put out my arm straight, right? Usually people will just stiffen their arm, and then but for Aikido we have to learn to relax. I don't know how to extend my arm while having relaxed. I do not know how that happened, but eventually when I practice long enough, right, I am able to do that, I guess. Well, we can have a try.
Right, let's go to the practical session.
Yeah, it's something where maybe like let's try that we have a practice where if you put your arm onto my shoulder, right? Maybe you can do it this way. Extend it as stiff as you want and try not to bend the arm. So you are using muscle strength here and it's easily bent. But when I do it and I try to relax, maybe you can lean forward a bit.
Wow.
And then that's not quite using muscle strength. If I use muscle strength, then alright. But yeah, I think that I don't know how that happened, but sometimes I do practice this in mind while practicing Aikido. Okay.
Wow. That was very impressive. Oh! You're back!
Welcome back.
Oh, didn't I?
You wouldn't know.
Okay.
Alright, welcome back to the SSSC show, and Potato is back and I feel like she's calmer.
A little bit.
Alright, so let's carry on with the next question. So let's talk about the age. Do you think like age actually like affects you guys?
You want to start first?
You mean like as we grow older, we get
Yeah.
like less?
Yeah.
I think yes, eventually it does. If let's say like especially for those like actually are athletes, so like those athletes that go to maybe Olympics or something, you see they're like around 24, 25. So that's like their prime period. So I guess if you go when you're like around 29 to 30, 28, around the late 30s, then that's where like your flexibility start to become stiffer, deteriorate, and then like for Taekwondo, like especially let's say sparring competition, so like you have to have a lot of stamina. Actually, it's a very demanding sport because like it requires a lot of stamina here and there. So yeah, as you grow older, your stamina just deteriorates, and like if you want to do it in a competitive level, yeah, it gets harder as the age progresses. But if for someone who is trying to start out martial arts, I think age doesn't matter really. If you're there for just like leisure or just want to try something new, age really doesn't matter. Yeah, and anyone can start. Anyone from like 7 or like 25, yeah, they can just pick it up real quick. Yeah.
For us, age, there's no. I mean, well, let me try to rephrase.
Preferred age.
The preferred age to learn Aikido, right, is probably about 12 years old and above, because back in the days when Aikido first started, it was actually a prestigious martial art where people who have black belts in other martial arts, only them can learn Aikido because it's a much more trickier one and needs more discipline. But right now, everyone can learn because it's still a martial art. But I say 12 years old is because when children are more matured, they start to know how to think that they can do it. Because if they're still playful, they can't do any technique correct, because different than Taekwondo, right? They just need to learn how to punch, right? But this one you have to know the human body. So as kids, right, you won't pay attention to that. So probably when people are like 12 years old and above, they'll start to understand why we cannot hurt them, what will happen, each techniques are different. So above that age, when they know how to think properly, then we can learn these Aikido techniques. But there's not much age limit when you start there, because Aikido, you can imagine it like a Japanese Tai Chi, but mainly for self-defense, because most of the professional Aikido masters, right, they are old people. You mean they have weak muscle strength, but they are still able to execute the technique and throw people off guard, because this Aikido techniques does not depend on strength. You can see my body here. Yeah, doesn't require much strength, but still it does. But the techniques serve more purpose in that way. So even women and old people can learn, not just physically built. Of course, if you're physically built, it has the advantage. But yeah, everyone can learn.
Cool. Well, that pretty much wraps up what we're going to talk about for today. Do you guys want to add anything about your clubs before we close out? Okay. Well, then smile at the camera.
So yeah, if you are interested to join Aikido, right, do contact me. My number is here. Maybe you can edit it.
It's in the description.
Yeah, it's in the description. So you can contact me to know more about Aikido. The one that you see in the movies, don't trust them entirely. The one that you see in the videos, you can trust them partially. But the best thing is to try it out yourself. Understand why does old people can do Aikido. Why is it good for self-defense? Why is it not good to fight people? Yeah, harmony is very important. yeah. You do contact me, and then hopefully we can gain more new members and then keep this martial art going. Yeah.
So same thing for Swin-babes Taekwondo Club. Yeah, I think you can find us on Instagram. We're more active on Instagram these days. So I think it's Swin-babes Taekwondo at Swin-babes Taekwondo. Yeah, so you can find us there. I think there's a form there to sign up for our online classes. So yeah, you have online classes every Friday night from 7:30 to 8:30. So it's just a bunch of us, find some space in your room or anywhere in your house to stretch or kick here and there. So you can just join us virtually as we train together. Yeah, it's not threatening. As long as you don't kick and then break your mirror or something like that, it'll be fine.
What are your membership fees like?
Oh, membership. So for this semester, I don't think we're charging it because it's online.
Ooh.
But of course, when we get to be like physical already, we have to pay for the instructor. So I think it was like 30 ringgit monthly for every month. Yeah, every monthly fee, 30 ringgit, just for the instructor and the association stuff. Yeah.
And Aikido?
For us, we do still collect this because our practice is as usual at our dojo. The fees are 100. It's actually 50 per month, but we usually pay quarterly, which means
25.
3 months for 3 months, which we pay 130 for 3 months. But the benefits is that each week there's 3 training sessions, and you can go to any of the classes that you want. So eventually 1 month there's 12 training sessions. So you can go to any of the training sessions depending on availability. Yeah, that's our training fee. 130 for 3 months.
Well, ain't that convenient? Well, basically we've talked about each other a lot and we found out a lot about the clubs. Now you have to tell us whether or not you would like to engage in a collaboration with one another.
We surely do.
We should do. We definitely tried it, but because of a certain pandemic that happened, it stopped us.
Pandemic. Miss Rona.
Miss Rona, yes.
Miss Rona.
That stopped us. It was actually for last semester. Yeah, we were supposed to hold a self-defense workshop.
Yes, self-defense workshop.
Yeah, it didn't happen because of Miss Rona. But we'll in the future, of course, we'll try to collaborate.
Probably next year when the RMCO is lifted, I hope. And then more strict SOP procedures are formed, physical contact is more allowable. Self-defense practice can be done.
Yes.
Cool. Well, she said yes. With that, you have witnessed the unholy matrimony of 2 different clubs. Thank you, Marco and Alvin, for joining us. I'm Potato.
I'm Timmy.
Oh, I'm Alvin.
I'm Marco.
That was completely unscripted. Thank you so much for joining us today at
The SSSC Show.
Stay tuned.